Okay, good evening everyone. Today I would like to present our study entitled The Use of English Movies to Address Speaking Challenges Among Senior High School Students with a Systematic Literature Review. This presentation is conducted by Group 2. Okay, I am Asila Abdulviani and my other members, Andini Samarao, which is student number 91, Anissa Nurrahma, which is number 97, and Rina, which is number 106. Okay, to begin with, I will explain the background of the study and the research problem. Okay, so speaking is one of the most important skills in English as a foreign language learning for senior high school students. Speaking is essential not only for classroom interaction but also for expressing ideas and participating in discussion. But however, in reality, many students still face serious speaking challenges. These challenges include limited vocabulary, poor pronunciation, low fluency, anxiety, and low confidence when speaking English. To respond these problems, our group suggests using English movies as a learning solution. English movies provide authentic language input, natural pronunciation, and real life expression that are often not found in textbooks. Okay, next slide, please. Even though English movies are commonly used in classroom, the research findings about their effectiveness are still scattered and not clearly summarized. For this reason, a systematic review is needed to better understand how English movies help overcome speaking challenges among senior high school students. Okay, next, I will explain the method used in this study. Next slide, please. So in this study, we applied a systematic literature review or SLR as the research design. This method was chosen because it allows researchers to collect and evaluate and synthesize previous studies in a systematic and a transparent way. It also helps reduce bias and provides a clearer overview of existing research findings. To collect the data, several academic databases were used, like Scopus, ERIC, Google Scholar, and ResearchGate. By using multiple databases, we were able to obtain high quality and relevant studies related to EFL study skills and movie-based learning. Okay, that's all for me. Next, I will give it to my friend. Okay, time is yours.
Alright, thank you for the opportunity. Next, I'm going to explain about methods, search strategy. The search process will apply a search strategy using a combination of keywords, Boolean operators, and search strings to the research focus. The keywords will be divided into three categories, namely speaking issues, English movies, and the EFL students of senior high school. To ensure accuracy, the keywords were divided into three. And then Boolean operators were applied to combine keywords effectively and narrow down the search results to studies that closely match the research focus. The next main keywords is used in study reflect the main variables of the research. Terms related to speaking difficulties were used to identify studies discussing student speaking problems. Keywords such as English movies and movie-based learning were applied to locate studies that use films as a teaching medium. And finally, keywords related to senior high school and EFL students ensured that the selected studies focused on the appropriate learning level. Next, please. Okay, next is for method screening or Prisma. After collecting the articles, a screening process based on Prisma guideline was conducted. The studies were included if they were published between 2015 until 2025, and then it should be peer-reviewed, written in English, and focused on EFL senior high school student. Only full-text empirical studies, such as experimental, qualitative, or classroom-based research, were selected to ensure the quality and reliability of the data. And then after that, meanwhile, for the exclusion, studies were excluded if they were published outside the selected time range, not peer-reviewed, or written in a language other than English. Articles focusing on university students, elementary learners, or topics unrelated to speaking skills and English movie were also removed. This exclusion process helped ensure that only relevant and high-quality studies were included in the final review. Okay, so that's all from me. Next will be presented by Wina. Wina, time is yours.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity. So I will explain about the interim findings. So this table shows the synthesis of speaking challenges and improvement using English movie. Moreover, this table summarizes the findings of 6 selected studies, and the result shows that senior high school EFL students commonly face speaking challenges such as limited focus and anxiety. Moreover, most studies indicate that the use of English movies helps improve students' speaking performance, and the improvements were mainly found in vocabulary, pronunciation, fluency, and speaking confidence. And experimental and quasi-experimental studies also show higher speaking scores after movie-based learning. Overall, the table highlights that English movies are effective in addressing common speaking challenges among senior high school EFL students. So next slide, please. Okay, so I will explain about the challenges. So there are several challenges in this review. First, many of the reviewed studies involve small sample size and were conducted in limited research context. In addition, most studies collected short-term data and used different research design, which makes comparison across studies difficult. In the SLR process, the number of studies focusing specifically on speaking skills was limited. Several articles also had to be excluded because they did not meet the inclusion criteria. Moreover, focused on other language skills or provided incomplete data. Okay, I think that's all from me, and the next point will be explained by Anissa.
Okay, Wina, so thank you for the opportunity. So I'm going to explain about next steps for our next assignment or final assignment. So please. Okay, next, after that, we will strengthen the conclusion and implication section by ensuring the conclusion directly reflect on the SLR results. We also highlight the academic contribution on the review and explain practical classroom implication, especially how EFL teachers can use English movies to support students' confidence, vocabulary use, pronunciation, and fluency during the speaking activities. Okay, the last steps. We finally revise and finalize the draft, focusing on improving clarity, coherence, academic language, and consistency. We'll also check the key terms, citation, formatting, and grammar through proofreading to ensure they follow academic and journal writing standard. Once the draft is polished, we will prepare the final outputs, including the journal manuscript, presentation slides, and a recorded presentation video by completing the project in both written and oral form. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so here are the references from our research topic. The references used in the studies come from relevant journals and academic studies that focus on EFL speaking skills and the use of English movies in learning. Most of the sources were published between 2019 and 2025, so the information is based on the recent research and current learning conditions. These references supports the discussion by showing real research findings about how students speaking problems and how English movies can help improve speaking skills for senior high school students. Okay, maybe that's all from me, and I'll give it back to the moderator. Thank you.
Okay, that's all for our group presentation. Thank you so much for listening. I will close it by saying thank you. Bye.